Western United with a win tonight can leapfrog 3 teams and go back into the top 6. They know how important tonight will be to grab all 3 points. Second game of a doubleheader this one, so a decent crowd in at Tarneet, and they always create a good atmosphere at Western United. There's a look at the players starting to appear in the tunnel. Chloe Lagazzo at the head of the queue for Western United, and Rebecca Stott for Melbourne City, our match officials as well. Western United having won 3 and drawn 1 in the 4 head-to-head meetings between the sides. It's a record they're proud of, and one that Melbourne City will be hoping to do away with by winning here tonight. It's the first time they've ever been to Tarneet, though. Previously, 3 of the 4 matches between these sides played at Amy Park. So it's Melbourne City's first visit to this venue, which Western United now call home, and both sides are wearing their home kit for this particular match. So as the teams line up for pre-game pleasantries, let's take a look at the Western United lineup. 3 changes to the team, beaten 2-1 away in Canberra. Sarah Eggersvik, Adriana Taranto and Isabel De Harkers coming into the starting 11. Amy Medwin moves to the bench, while Avani Prakash and Kiwa Hieda have been promoted by Kat Smith among the substitutes, with Emily Roach, Sandra Ibaguen and the injured Claudia Miocic all dropping out of the matchday squad. And there is Adriana Taranto. She suffered a torn ACL on the 15th of March last year, so 10 months and 2 days and 2 substitute appearances since suffering that injury. She is starting for the first time this season. It's been a remarkably quick comeback for the Western United midfielder, and she holds such an importance to this team as a really competitive attacking midfielder. Melbourne City make 1 change to the team that defeated Brisbane Roar 2-0 last Saturday. Rihanna Policina is preferred in the starting 11 to Canadian attacker Catherine Harvey, who moves to the bench. Otherwise, no changes to Michael Matriciani's matchday squad. And in the huddle there, it's a special evening for Tyler J. Vlanich. TJ plays Ninja A-League game number 100 tonight. And of course, she spent the last 3 seasons at Western United, so fitting that her first meeting against her former club comes with the one where she made her name, debuting in 2015. As a mature age debutante, she's 34 now, but arguably playing as well as ever as she reaches game 100 this evening. And as Taylor Otto there in the Melbourne City defence congratulates TJ, let's take a look at Kat Smith, who will be hoping to continue this Western United unbeaten streak against Melbourne City, something the club really does pride itself on, but it's going to be a tough test this evening. Our referee is Caitlin Williams, with assistants Anastasia Philokarides and Janelle Samet, and the 4th official is Rachel Mitchinson. Caitlin Williams, a Victorian referee, so a local that'll be well known to both these sides. And it looks as though Melbourne City will be attacking the right of your screens in the first half. There's their coach, Michael Matriciani, spoke in his pre-game comments about how he expected a physical contest tonight. And with a bit of wind around and a first ever trip to this venue, it'll be interesting to see how long it takes for Melbourne City to start being the possession-dominant team we've come to know them as. If anything, it looks as though the wind is heavily favouring the left of screen in the first half, so maybe that's advantage Western United. It's Melbourne City who kick off at Ironbark Fields for the first time in the Ninja A-League. And the round is underway as the unbeaten ladder leader tries to break 7 points clear at the top of the competition with a win tonight. And Western United look to vault back into the top 6. The long ball here is well controlled. Out to the right side, looking to bring Lourdes Bosch into play. Pass was slightly overhit from Laura Hughes. Now Western United trying to consolidate. Sasha Grove clears long, skimming off the head of Catherine Zimmerman. And fellow American Taylor Otto is there to play it back to Milena Mires, the goalkeeper. Western United really hunting the ball in the press, trying to force a mistake. Rebecca Stott is a cool head. And out to Alexia Apostolakis, a misplaced pass. Means that it's Western ball, and you can see there's an urgency about Western United's play straight out of the gates in the first minute of this match. Apostolakis clears down the line. Grace Maher, a little bit sore after winning that header, has just landed awkwardly, and the referee is going to whistle play dead. So some concern here for the Western United defender, Grace Maher. It was non-contact. It was just a landing issue that appears to have felled her here. She's discussing with her teammates. There's real concern as the trainers have come out. Grace Maher, 25 years old, game number 122 tonight. A veteran of this competition, even at her young age. Here's another look. It's the landing there. It's either an ankle or a knee. You see the ankle roll. So perhaps that's the concern. Maher is able to stand under her own steam, and right near the technical area. It's not a long walk to get to the sidelines, but the assessment will continue, and Western United may have a big decision because the subs are warming up. They don't exactly have a huge amount of defensive cover on the bench, more or less just Amy Medwin. And that's after an injury to Claudia Miocic in the Canberra game last week. She's out with a glute for 1 to 2 games. So Isabel De Harkis has already been drafted into the Western United defence. With a bit of an unbalanced bench tonight in terms of defensive cover, they'll be desperately hoping that Maher is able to continue in the game. And it is a player advantage for Melbourne City in the short term. Here is Blanich in game 100, winning a throw-in. Alexia Apostolakis, one of the nominees for Young Player of the Season in the Ninja A-League. Applying for all players 19 and under. Block tackle in midfield, and is cleared straight back to the centre of defence, and Rebecca Stott once more. Taylor Otto trying to probe the left. Mariana Speckmeyer still taking up her position on the wing. That's a great little underlapping run from Davidson. And now Speckmeyer, not much on in the middle though, and the offside flag makes it a moot point. Speckmeyer, the Venezuelan international, American-born, straying offside. You saw there, just pinching the fingers close together to indicate it was a really tight call. You can see there the number 18 shirt of Grace Maher is back at the centre of defence, so everyone exhale. Grace Maher thankfully okay after that little twist of the ankle in the first 2 minutes of the game. Hopefully right for the rest of the 90 from here. Combative work from Mel Taranto. For those of you looking to differentiate the identical twins, Adriana Taranto wears number 15 and Mel Taranto number 16. And there is Adriana Taranto. Her first start tonight is also game number 61 of her career. Stott looking to go a bit more direct here. Forces a pass out in front of Lourdes Bosch. He's not quite able to chase it down. Bosch, who made a really blistering start to the season, is looking to recapture some of the goal-scoring form. She has 3 in 10, 3 in 11, including tonight's match now. Sasha Grove hurls the ball down the line. Flick header on by Lagazo. Ball coughed up here to Zimmerman, who's looking to protect it. Under pressure from Apostolakis. Zimmerman nearly had the shape on it to play it into the path of Lagazo, but Spanish goalkeeper Malena Mires is out to retrieve the ball. Mires again, and you can see the press all the way up to the goalkeeper. How much will Western United have in the legs to be able to do that? Deflected pass here, and so nearly winning possession back, and now they do. Mel Taranto rolling, appealed for the foul, not given. Out of the cluster comes Policina. Bosch gives possession away. It's nicely done by Eggersvik to keep the ball at Western United feet. Julia Sato at right back. Adriana Taranto to Sister Mel. Now out to the wing. Early cross swung in here, and just beyond the run of Carly Johnson, who's been in fine goal-scoring form. And the ball reared up off the surface there, nearly nicely for a header. Lagazo, who's roaming the attacking midfield, and you see there, it just bounced beyond the lunge of Johnson. 6 goals already this season for the 20-year-old. Very much in the conversation for the Golden Boot. Mires takes the short pass from Stott and then has to boot it away. Sato challenging in the air. Really physical, combative play from Taranto, and then can't find a teammate with the pass. Here is Vlanic, and just hurried out of possession. So the ball living in the attacking half of Western United at present. How they would love the opening goal to try and really set the tone of the game. Adriana Taranto trying to dart between 2 players. Speckmeyer back helping out the defence and has to hurry to avoid conceding a corner. Hard down at the line and eventually ricocheting out for a goal kick. Speckmeyer deep in defence, reflecting the press from Western United that Melbourne City are just dropping deeper and deeper. And again, how daring will they be trying to play out from the back here? Look at the Western United press lined up right at the edge of the box. So Mires shuffles the ball onto Otto. Taylor Otto, who leads the league in passing accuracy, has the ball at her feet more than any other player in the competition. And again, she's the outlet pass here for Stott, and completes that pass over to Hughes. Lanage down the line. Speckmeyer not able to take possession with the touch. Sato's pass flicked on a little hot from Lagazo. Not able to bring Zimmerman into play. Melbourne City really still looking to get going. Leah Davidson, one of the players they will be relying on to retain possession of the ball. Luck's a fortune there because Sasha Grove tried to win the ball and commit. Instead, left Lourdes Bosch free to take possession. Now Davidson back to Hughes. Vlanic starting to get forward, and this is more familiar territory for Speckmeyer, who receives the ball on the wing. Speckmeyer and Davidson an errant touch. Block tackle spills the ball. Vlanic sizes up the options. Oh, it was a teasing cross. Looking for Policina in the middle, who's playing as the centre forward tonight. Effectively coming in like for Catherine Harvey, the Canadian forward, who's been switched to the bench. Vlanic tries to take on Taranto, and those two have been teammates enough times to perhaps know each other's game inside out. Dahakis. Well, a little feint there, and was able to fake out Policina. No back pass. Dahakis clips it down the line. Lagazo. Heard the shout from Sato. Julia Sato, well, set a task there for Zimmerman, which proved a little bit too challenging, and you can see the wind just took control of the ball and kept it rolling. So an intriguing first 10 minutes. We haven't had a fantastic chance for either team to score, but certainly Western United are trying to force the issue here, in Melbourne City, they've been in this position a few times, taking a goal kick and trying to think their way through the Western United press. And Mires decides this time, I'm going for distance. The ball sat up. Grove knocked it straight back to the centre of defence. Apostolakis, the body language suggesting that there wasn't a great pass on, and indeed it's now contested. Johnson trying to keep it in, can't do so. Johnson and Apostolakis were young Matilda's teammates over the winter. They went to Colombia for the Under-20 Women's World Cup. Now they find each other as adversaries tonight, with Johnson on the left flank and Apostolakis playing it right back. Blanich. Dahakis brought the ball down and now ventures into midfield. Zimmerman. Adriano Taranto. Back to Mel Taranto. Western looking a bit more confident on the ball now. Looking to really assert a bit of dominance in possession. Here's Grove getting forward. He's got a very attacking nature, Sasha Grove, starting at left back tonight for Western United. And now Dahakis retakes possession, flips the pass on. Difficult for Zimmerman to do much with it. As though it was Taylor Otto's ball until Zimmerman drifted in, diving back. Apostolakis again, arms outstretched, saying, "Where's the pass for me?" Policina knocked to ground by Ma. Now Lagazzo trying to flick it into the path of Zimmerman. A potentially dangerous ball. Blanich clears. But again, Western United seemingly set up very well. Possession count might favour City, but right now it's Western United looking to force the issue here. Block tackle and a really solid tackle from Apostolakis, and it caught the last deflection off Carly Johnson. Let's take another look here. Didn't shy away from the contest there. Alexia Apostolakis is only 18 years old, and tonight is game number 54. Made her debut for Western Sydney Wanderers as a 15-year-old. Policina coming deep to try and link up in the play. City's attack is short-lived. Michael Matriciani plays ball boy. Stott seemingly charged with hitting the ball long at times tonight, and it nearly brings Lourdes Bosch into play. And venturing out of the penalty area, Alyssa Daloste perhaps bailed out by a defence there. We've barely called the Western United goalkeeper's name in the first 13.5 minutes. It seems as though Melbourne City, when they don't like what's on, Rebecca Stott's been given licence to play the long ball over the top. Davidson directing traffic. Ball clipped over the top. It's Vlanich making a run. Speckmeyer's there in support. Mariana Speckmeyer doubles back around, ignores what's on in the penalty area. Vlanich saw a run from McKenna, coming from deep. McKenna teeing it up, and the chance blocked away off the line by Grove. Policina foiled. It unfolded very quickly for Melbourne City there. Just a couple of daring runs into the penalty area, and they had the overload going. Letitia McKenna was the player that made it happen. It was a miscued clearance into the path of Policina, and the goalkeeper not required as Sasha Grove was in the right position. Brianna Policina, who hasn't scored since round 1 of the season back on November the 3rd, is foiled with the best chance of the game so far. It was nearly an inspired selection decision by Melbourne City to start Policina up top. And they've got a bit of a taste for attacking now. But a slide tackle here spills the ball to Sato, and now Daloste. A chance at a bit of a confidence-building touch. Has been a spectator for the first 15 minutes and then nearly got called into action a moment ago. And Letitia McKenna coming off a double against Brisbane last week. You can see she identified the chance to get forward down that left channel. It was a great run into the box. Western United starving Melbourne City of the ball. Neat 1-2. Sees Sasha Grove away. Grove with Johnson on the outside. Uses her now. Carly Johnson. First time cross is too close to the keeper. Now we're starting to see a bit more boldness in attack from both sides. Otto, got to be careful here. Mires sold into trouble. Late contact from Lagazzo, and the referee does say it's a foul. Well, apologies immediately, and apologies accepted. Another hair-raising moment deep in the penalty area. It was a loose touch from Otto, and, well, Lagazzo has the boot raised initially there. Look at that. And making contact with her knee to Mires's shin. Gee, the replays make that look like quite a, well, potentially dangerous tackle, if not a little reckless. No yellow card out of the pocket, just a foul, just a free kick. So the incident comes and goes. It's a warning for Melbourne City, and Lagazzo perhaps gets away with one there. Elena Mires met rather solidly by the Western United skipper. Sasha Grove was key to creating that drive forward a moment ago. Dahakis distributing from the centre of defence. Sardo. Eggersvik often chasing, but not able to make ground before Mires, who's clearly showing no ill effects. We know that some players in outfield wear wafer-thin shin guards that are barely noticeable, but Elena Mires seems to be wearing far more conventional shin guards playing as the goalkeeper in this one. You need that bit of extra protection. Zimmerman's lurking at the top of the box. Again, Taranto trying to find a way to win the ball back, composed from Hughes. And aware of her surroundings to win a free kick. And bouncing up with a big smile. Just protecting the ball there, and Eggersvik with a bit too much momentum into the back of Laura Hughes. Closing in on a milestone of her own. Game number 99 tonight for Hughes. So, assuming no injury or suspension, she'll be looking to raise game 100 away to Western Sydney Wanderers next time Melbourne City play. Right now, defending is the focus. Another little half chance goes begging for Lagazzo. Couldn't quite spot up Zimmerman at the edge of the box. Speckmeyer, as the ball hugged the paint of the touchline, it stayed in, and Speckmeyer strides away. Jagging inside. Doesn't fancy the shot, though. McKenna. Apostolakis getting forward. Cut back, and it's all green and black in the middle of the penalty area. Well, they had numbers committing forward there, Melbourne City, but Apostolakis not able to pick out one of her teammates. Game becoming a little bit more end-to-end. We had about 10 or 11 minutes of feeling out. Now the chances are starting to come on a more regular basis. McKenna was nearly set away down the left. A good intercept. Adriana Taranto. Now Sardo. Eggersvik. Dahakis. Eggersvik. Out of a 1-on-2. Dahakis not liking the options. Daloste. Over to Grace Marr. Marr, a natural left footer. Around the corner she goes. Grove. Grove's pass intercepted by Stott. Centre back getting forward. Bosch drives the cross. It's once, twice off the thigh and then the head. And then eventually Dahakis brings it under her control and just kicks for territory to get it to safety. And so in quick succession, both Apostolakis and Dahakis getting space on the right to swing it across, but not able to find a teammate on either occasion. Long ball again from City over the top. Bosch judging it well in flight. Grove, it broke kindly for the Western United defender. Keeps it away from Policina. And they had a 2-on-1 very briefly there, but Sasha Grove made sure that the numbers didn't count for Melbourne City. Hughes, back to Stott. Escapes Grove. Grove will get back goal side though. Bosch tries to drop the shoulder. Scuffs across into the box, and it's a corner kick coming up for Melbourne City. Here's another look at Lourdes Bosch. And Grove was a step behind there, but was able to recover position. And even though she had a little nibble at trying to win the ball away, Bosch still able to win a corner. And TJ Vlanich in game 100 has crossed from left back all the way over to the right side of attack to take Melbourne City's first corner kick of the night. And this is Daloste, the goalkeeper. You see the setting sun in the eyes. High, landing next to the far post. First header Weston, second header Weston, and then Carly Johnson boots it away. So dealt with comfortably enough. Of course, Western United had a horrid time about 3 weeks ago against the Brisbane Roar when they conceded goals on 3 corners. The 8-2 scoreline may have been spectacular, but 3 of them coming from corners was definitely cause for concern. They'll be happy that they've seen off the first of the night. McKenna linking up with Hughes. Physical play, Western United spill possession. Johnson tries to boot it to her own advantage. Apostolakis right there for company. Otto has Lagazzo right there pressing. Johnson to Bosch. Lourdes Bosch waiting for the right option to appear and is able to lure in Sasha Grove for illegal contact and a foul. Here's another look at how Bosch was able to just out Fox Grove hard up against the sideline. Pretty well-behaved game, as you can see, only the 3 total fouls so far. Possession won by Sato, and then gets clattered in the aftermath. Adriana Taranto. Back to Dahakis. Daloste, confident, coming out of the penalty area. Ma. Looks up at Policina, squeezing a pass into dangerous territory. It's been won away by Speckmeyer, and Dahakis had to win the ball with that tackle and did so, saving the day for Western United. Speckmeyer plays the early ball, and that one is keepers collect. Bouncing beyond any potential run of Policina. Of course, Alyssa Daloste starting for the 6th time this year. It puts her just 1 appearance in front of Chloe Lincoln, who remains on the bench tonight. Goalkeeper battle for those #1 gloves has been one of the enduring stories of Western United's season. Here's a look at the Melbourne City bench, who've all been sent to go and warm up. And there's Chloe Lincoln with the other Western United substitutes. Hughes pushes it out towards Speckmeyer. Speckmeyer against Sato. Tried for the little skip step, and Sato was having none of it. Plays it back to Daloste, who clears. For a little bit of razzle there did Mariana Speckmeyer, and Julia Sato, a former Melbourne City player herself some seasons ago, falling for the trickery. There's a look at where some of the passes are taking place. It reflects that Melbourne City have had more passes completed in both halves of the field. But right now, Western United are the ones in possession. Cleared by Otto from the edge of the box. McKenna, Speckmeyer. Back to Vlanich. Looking to keep things moving in a hurry. TJ Vlanich. Does appear as though the wind we had at kickoff has settled down just a bit. It can be a windy venue at times. Iron Park Fields in Tarneit. Mirez. Possession spilled. Taranto, Lagazzo. Lagazzo tries to shoot from distance and can't dip it. Decided to take on the responsibility there, even though there were a few defenders in the way. Here's another look. Taranto there. So Zimmerman wanted the short pass. Lagazzo decided that maybe I can dip this one towards the top right corner, but ended up skying it. So decision time once again. These sort of scenarios that Melbourne City would train so often. And clearly Mirez has seen something not to her liking, so it's the get-out pass. And maybe they get out of jail completely, City, because they win a throw-in. Policina swarmed by Taranto. Clipped on. Johnson contesting against Apostolakis. Mel Taranto trying to squeeze out of a 1-on-3. Apostolakis clears away. Ma uses her left foot to the edge of the box. Sits up invitingly, but Hughes clears. Through comes Sato, committed to the ball. Zimmerman dinked it on. Garzo was hoping it would break a little bit wider. Vlanich. He saw the chance to go end-to-end there, but they couldn't make it happen. Lagazzo with Zimmerman. The American cuts it back to Lagazzo. It's going to fall kindly for Johnson. Carly Johnson on the turn, blocked immediately. Apostolakis in the right position. Game just starting to come to a simmer as we approach the half-hour mark. A couple of waves of attack in quick succession from the home side here. DeHarkins couldn't find a way through. Gets a second chance. Back to goal edge of the box is Taranto. DeHarkins. Lagazzo can turn and face. And a quarter deflection off Vlanich to stop the ball going any further to Western United's advantage. They load up and go again. Taranto out to the left this time. Johnson resumes her duel with Apostolakis. Sasha Grove. Well, it's good sustained pressure from Western United. Can they turn it, though, into a shot on the Melbourne City goal? They can't, and that is relief of the pressure that was building there. 4 or 5 times they approached the edge of the box, but just couldn't find the right player in space to actually take the shot. Bosch loses out to Eggersvik. Grove onto the spill. Sato. Taylor Otto. Little drag step on the ball was ponderous and has now worked her way into a bit of bother, but had the support of Hughes to get her out of trouble. Now Vlanich pops the ball up to Policina, who can turn and try to continue the attack. Bosch running. Ma comes across. Referee Caitlin Williams has a good look. There's the appeal. Not being heeded. Grace Ma clean in the tackle. Game being stretched a little bit, though. That might suit Melbourne City. McKenna. Otto. Davidson turning straight into the challenge of Adriana Taranto, and it's a Taranto twin sandwich there as Mel boots the ball clear. Let's take another look Lourdes Bosch. Oh, maybe she did have a case. Grace Maher. She's got such a good reputation, Grace Maher, that if she behaves like nothing was untoward, you might be inclined to believe it. But there appeared to be contact on the standing leg of Bosch there without anything made on the ball. One to watch for next time Lourdes Bosch runs at the Western United defence, which City will be hoping comes sooner rather than later. Mirez. He was on Davidson, out to Otto. Blanich. Knocked to the ground, and that was too much physicality from Adriana Taranto there. You see the big smile on her face. She's loving just being back out there playing for the first time as a starter in 10 months. And that was the foul. That was deemed a bit too much. Western United winning the territory battle. And they'll get the chance to attack once more here. Sato. Dahakis. Isabel Dahakis, American and Colombian dual citizen. Lagazo wins a throw on the wing. There's a little cluster of Melbourne City travelling fans made their way to Tarneit. The men's team have not played in this venue yet, so it's the first time the women's team has come here as the away side. There they are. Great to see Melbourne City fans making the journey. Why wouldn't you watch this team? They're unbeaten in 11 to start the league and throw in 3 Champions League games as well. 14 games without defeat to start the campaign. And that was a foul throw. No disguising that from Lagazo. You don't see it whistled too often, but that one was a little too blatant. If you're wondering, the league record streak unbeaten is 18. It is jointly held by Melbourne City, Brisbane Roar and Canberra United. So we're not quite in all-time record territory yet for Melbourne City. Tonight's game 12 that they're trying to go unbeaten. And a foul here by Pollicina means it's Western United ball. Grace Maher has been moving freely ever since that little scare in just the 2nd minute of the game with the twisted ankle. Dahakis, an awkward bounce, eventually brought it under her command. Continues to bounce up off the turf, but Johnson's got it at feet here. Carly Johnson! Oh, it kept rising. Carly Johnson, who has an excellent scoring record against Melbourne City. 2 in 4 for the 20-year-old, and that was nearly 3 in 5. Lashed a left footer. Mirez was leaping, and it just kept rising. And the Western United fans have got a chant for Carly Johnson. If you're a regular viewer of the Ninja A-League, you probably hear this one quite regularly. You're hearing it plenty this season because she's found the back of the net 6 times. Mirez. Western United trying to create another good chance in short order here because that's exactly where they want Carly Johnson. Top of the box. Space for her left foot to have a go. Eggersby. Dahakis. To Daloste. McKenna, a lone chase. Daloste gets it away. Play from Taranto to field a bouncing ball. Now battle ensues out on the wing. Taranto putting the heat here on Davidson, who tried to spin and now loses out. Well played, Taranto. Can't find Johnson at the edge of the area, though. Oh, big barge. Almost an arm bar there from Mariana Speckmeyer, and the referee was right on the scene. Dahakis, the player, knocked over. Well, it was a clash made in South America there. Venezuela wipes out Colombia. I think you'd have to say it was an accident. And Speckmeyer there didn't have the arm out to begin with, more just pushed away after the shock of realising that she'd almost blindly run into an opponent. So there seems to be no afters. Of course, these two teams famously had a blow-up at Amy Park when Danielle Steer of Western United and Katie Bowen of Melbourne City had a bit of a to-do. Here's Johnson. Oh, and the offside flag appears at the worst possible time for Western United. Janelle Samet over on the outer side. First time that it's been offside against Western United in this game. Speckmeyer. Mirez, a loose touch, had to go and swing the left foot at the ball. Grove, an up and under header, trying to tail back and hit her standing leg. Ma plays it on. Taranto. Mel Taranto ducking and weaving. Zimmerman not able to take possession. Matriciani stands silent in the technical area. Will either team find a goal before half-time? Western United perhaps still the more likely, even though City did create a great chance, which Anna Policina shot into Sasha Grove, who was standing in the 6-yard box. Daloste. Sato hits the line. 1-2 is a neat one. Lagazo. Eggersvik, and that is a great run from Carly Johnson. Mirez came out feet first. Good goalkeeping from Milena Mirez. Had to go and got the judgment spot on. Otherwise, that was Carly Johnson bearing down on goal. Johnson trying to win a corner, and instead, Vlanich prevails. It's a goal kick. Here's another look at that goalkeeping. Johnson's about to take possession, and Milena Mirez sliding out feet first on that occasion. Of course, her confidence will be sky high after saving that penalty from Tamiki Yallop in the Brisbane Roar game last week, keeping a clean sheet. They have been harder than usual to come by for Melbourne City. For a team that's undefeated, they do concede quite a few goals. Mirez trying to grow into the season. Mel Taranto. Dahakis catches the deflection. Apostolakis to Bosch. Bosch. And now runners break. Leah Davidson tried to sweep it across the penalty area. Perhaps intended for Speckmeyer, who was some way back in the box. Ultimately, Western United turned it into a goal kick. So 5 minutes of regulation to go in what has been a compelling first half. And now it's Western United's turn to get pressed right up to the 6-yard box. Otto, rare foray into the attacking half. Stott. Keeping possession. Able to spin away from Eggersvik, but then gives the ball up. Dahakis back to Daloste. Got plenty of distance on the clearance. Western United might have been caught out by the long ball. Lagazo getting forward, and Mirez out of the penalty area again. And is able to put the left foot through the ball and clear it to safety. Well, it is a windy day, and they were nearly undone there by a long ball over the top. Melbourne City. Western stay on the attack. Zimmerman, Carly Johnson, blocked away by Otto. And then Hughes clearing to Speckmeyer. Great touch out into space. And now Speckmeyer turns on the afterburners and sees Taranto come in, but she's not giving up just yet. Well, exciting stuff. And Melena Mires will judge it well again. Sato. Bit of backspin on the ball, made it awkward. Dahak is able to evade McKenna. Eggersvik. Apostolakis left onto the ball. And now the young defender is looking to launch into attack. Apostolakis just overhit the pass away from Speckmeyer. Hughes immediately tackled by Taranto. Ball spills kindly for Johnson. Series of ricochets. Otto tried to take the sting out of the ball. Mires. Not the most convincing pass. Given away to Zimmerman. Lagazzo saw Grove in the corner of the eye. Sasha Grove traps the ball and now lifts it across. Headed away by Davidson. Dahakis. Lagazzo trying to flick it around the corner. Sato. Melbourne City with numbers back. Blanage, miss-hit clearance. Chase it out to the left-back corner. Sato pressing up. Mel Taranto. Got a glance on. McKenna turns and plays the ball out in front of Pollicina. Rihanna Pollicina is away. Grace Marr catches her. Pollicina has support in the form of McKenna. Bosch still forward in the penalty area. McKenna nicked off her toes. And that is why Grace Marr is so important to Western United. Was able to dispossess Pollicina and then stick to task and dispossess McKenna as well. It was a great pass from McKenna to set Pollicina away. You see there, Marr's closing speed was able to spill the ball. And so with 1 minute of regulation to go in this first half, Melbourne City are looking to take the game on with Otto. Referee's put the whistle away. Now the counter might be on here with Taylor Otto out of position. Mel Taranto bustling forward. Zimmerman attacking from the wing. Lagazzo getting forward in the middle. Zimmerman lifts in the cross. And saved by Mires. Has the goal been paid? Did it cross the line? It's been paid. Well, not the first time this season we've seen goal line controversy at Tarneet. But Western United take the lead. Taylor Otto was caught out of position. Lagazzo and Johnson were waiting in the middle. Zimmerman's cross met by Carly Johnson, and it got over the line. Johnson was all over it. Will it go down as an own goal? Melena Mires, the initial parry, and then batted it out. Well, Melena Mires, who had arguably had her best first half of the season for Melbourne City, is now at the centre of some real controversy here. And just like the game against Newcastle, it's Carly Johnson the beneficiary. It's her goal for now. We will confirm it for you with the match commissioner and the fourth official. Huge call from assistant referee Janelle Samet and central referee Caitlin Williams. Western United have the lead in first half stoppage time, which has nearly expired. For now, it is Carly Johnson's 7th goal of the season. And Sato is down here. over the side of the face is what Sato is indicating. Marianne Speckmeyer looks none the wiser as to her role in this collision. It's going to be a drop ball, and we've gone beyond the additional minute. We had a goal right as the game ticked into stoppage time. Now we've had this little delay for Sato's injury, but the referee has seen enough. And the last unbeaten team standing in the Ninja A-League trails at half-time. They have come from behind to either draw or win on 5 occasions, though, Melbourne City. It's not the first time they've been here, but can they dig deep and do it again? Western United, they are doing it again to Melbourne City once more. And they go to the rooms with a half-time lead. Western United 1, Melbourne City 0. And as we go to the half-time highlights, we can confirm that Carly Johnson has been awarded the goal. It was Taylor Otto getting forward, and you see her just tailing back in midfield there. Mel Taranto kept the ball moving. And Zimmerman swinging in the cross. Johnson's initial volley parried by Mieres and then clawed off the line, seemingly over the line. Shock for Mieres, but the goal stands. And Carly Johnson has put Western United into a 1-0 lead. Great play by Zimmerman, recognised that they had to get the ball into the box with Otto still making ground, getting back to the centre of defence. And Milena Mieres, well, did so much good work in that first half, the Melbourne City goalkeeper. And she can't quite believe that it's her team that trailed. So what do the numbers say? Well, not a surprise that Melbourne City have been ball dominant in possession, but only 1 shot on goal, none on target from 300 passes. That's Melbourne City when things aren't quite working the way they need them to. And they will have to turn that around in the second half.
You can see and taste. Smoke low and slow, crank up the heat with a blistering crunch. From artisan pizzas to smoky wood fire creations. Add authentic wood fire flavours to anything you make. Share the flavours of your world with the Ninja Wood Fire Outdoor Oven.
Liberty Home Loans, get different. Fit the Philippine thinkers, the go-getters. Stick your ears. If you're a free thinker, you'll be much at home. Liberty, for free thinkers.
I'm going to celebrity Get Me Out of Here starts January 1919, an AFL Premiership winner, a headline for the Olympian, and one of Australia's most famous comedians are heading into the jungle. Get ready to be starstruck. January 19 on 10. Get ready to cheer just like Liberty Sports, the A-Leagues. They're on your team too. Whether you're playing a holiday or buying a new home, they can provide the assist you need to kick your free kicking goals. Liberty loans on free thinkers.
Half-time at Tarneit, and it's Western United enjoying a 1-0 lead against Melbourne City. Of course, the Ninja A-League rolls right through your weekend. Let's hear now from Teresa Polias and Narlene Masto with a preview of Melbourne victory against Perth Glory.
The home of the Matildas will host Melbourne Victory and Perth Glory in what is set to be a mouth-watering clash. Now, Teresa, Melbourne Victory high on confidence coming off their win in the last game. How important was that for them to show that they can bounce back from a shock defeat?
Yeah, look, I think it was their best performance in a while, so they'll take a lot of confidence from that, and moving forward, that mentality, they have to take that against any team and go for the win.
And Gilnick back to goal-scoring ways, which was great to see. And she mentioned post-game that Jeff Hopkins' message to the side was kind of just switch positions and be a little bit fluid in that forward line. How difficult is that for an opposition to defend against? I
mean, if you look at the team that Victory have on paper, I'm not surprised that he has said that in terms of their quality and experience, but very hard to defend against attackers that move a lot and have that fluidity. It really tends to disorganise a backline and confuse them. So a tough ask for Perth Glory.
Well, let's see what Perth Glory can also cook up in attack, because we've also seen Caitlin Douglas, who made her return after a 4-year absence. How important is it for a player like her to have already got the goal in her first game back to kind of prove that she still has more to give to this side?
It was so wholesome to see the return of Caitlin Douglas, a great player over the years for Perth Glory, made an instant impact. She came back, scored straight away. So first of all, her experience shows. She put herself in good positions and her finishing was on point. So, you know, it's great that she's, again, available for Perth in the next game, and they'll be really looking to work the team around her and get her on the ball in critical areas to score.
Well, we can't wait to see how these two sides match up against each other on Saturday evening. Catch it live on Paramount Plus or 10 Play.
And as part of looking forward to this match between Melbourne Victory and Perth Glory, let's hear from the two coaches. First, it'll be Stephen Peters of the Glory, followed by Jeff Hopkins of Melbourne Victory.
They're very physically strong, well organised, and then they've obviously got game breakers across the park in Chidiac and Gilnick, Rachel Lowe, Janchevsky. You know, they're quite an established team. Even someone like Nikki Flannery, who's not scoring a lot, but has been around the A-League for a long time. So, and then obviously at the back they've got, you know, Bunge and Morrison. They're two very good operators. So they're a very good team. And then obviously Jeff needs no introduction. He's a very successful coach. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult one for us, but we feel like we did really well against them last time, and we'd like to repeat that, and hopefully this time take some points home.
Yeah, look, I think they're. I think first of all they're a real hard-working, honest side that, yeah, they make things really hard for you. So number one, we've got to make sure that we come out with energy, and then we more than match them physically.
Jeff Hopkins, the Victory coach there. Well, Perth's Caitlin Douglas has been the talk of the week, scoring on her return after 4 years out of the Ninja A-League. Let's hear from the Perth Glory player.
I was just purely in shock. I think I said, "Oh, wow," and then just didn't say anything for a little while. Yeah, and then I rang my mum after and the tears came. It was just, yeah, I worked so hard, and to get that phone call, it was just the best feeling. Yeah, it's definitely been an adjustment. Obviously, it's a lot more of a full-time gig now. Obviously, back when I was here, it was just kind of training in the afternoons and you did your day job during the day. So obviously now it's a lot more full-time, which is great. It just shows that the league's growing and we're stepping closer to where we want it to be. At the moment, because I'm a teacher, I'm on school holidays, so really good timing. So yeah, so just making the most of everything that I can. Melbourne Victory have been so consistent throughout the years. Even when I was playing previously, that was always a really tough game. And they've done some really good recruiting as well. They've got Gilnick back in, which is going to be a really, really tough thing to kind of counter. But it's always going to be a good game. We're going to give it our best shot, and that's all we can do.
So don't miss that one. It's Melbourne Victory against Perth Glory right here where you're watching this very game, which at half-time is Western United leading Melbourne City by 1-0.
Thanks for joining us, mate. Good luck in the second half. A big second half coming your way here at Iron Bar. Our girls in green up 1-0 at half time. Fingers crossed we can get 3 points here tonight.
It's football's hottest summer.
Well, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Well, that is just pretty to watch.
78 games across 28 days.
That is unbelievable.
It's the A-League's biggest summer of football ever.
Oh my goodness, what a strike.
Action-packed fun for everyone these holidays. Family passes start from only $24. Search A-League's tickets online to get your tickets today.
Well, the summer of football does roll on, and perhaps one of the bigger twists in the run of games is unfolding before us. Melbourne City have wasted no time turning it to the bench at the start of this second half. Brianna Pollicina, who started the game, is off, and Holly McNamara is on. Michael Matriciani saying pre-game that she's still limited to 60 minutes per match, Holly McNamara, so on for the start of the second half here with Melbourne City trailing. There's McNamara in the number 9 shirt. It is the 21-year-old's 7th game back now from her 3rd ACL. You can see Taylor Otto there is the player taking the team talk at the start of this second half. The only unbeaten team in the league trails at half-time. going for 12 unbeaten in a row and 15 in all competitions, including the Asian Women's Champions League. Right now, it's Western United who might be about to make it. 5 consecutive games unbeaten against Melbourne City and 4 wins out of 5. There's a reason it's one of the fledgling best rivalries in this competition, because Western United have really been able to up their game every time they take on their opponents in City Blue. They had been unbeaten against both Victory and City for a couple of seasons there before Victory beat them 4-1 earlier in the campaign. But they want to maintain their dominance over their Victorian rivals. Carly Johnson's goal right on the stroke of half-time is the difference between the sides as Johnson kicks off the second half with Western United 1 leading Melbourne City 0 at Ironbark Fields in Tarneet. And straight away, Holly McNamara is into the action. McNamara blocked away. Didn't quite generate the power either behind the shot. Almost a little too quick at the start of the second half. And now Bosch trying to find a way through, and Alyssa Daloste calls off the defenders and says, this one's mine. Confirmation there of Rihanna Pollicina being the player that made way. Pollicina hasn't played a full 90 for Melbourne City since the 16th of November now. Whether it's coming off the bench or being subbed out of games. Here's Isabel De Harkis, one of the additions to Kat Smith's lineup today. You'd have to say so far so good for the Western United coach. Negersvik was one of 3 changes along with Adriana Taranto, who barely looks like she's missed a beat coming back from a torn ACL. Here's Catherine Zimmerman. Johnson, the goal scorer, now trying to turn provider. Lagazzo waits in the middle. Johnson trying to take on Stott, and that's always a tall order. And the Kiwi international defender comes out on top. The rest of the league will be watching on eagerly to this game, because Western United, with this 1-0 lead, are currently jumping up to 5th on the live table. And they would be overtaking Canberra, Central Coast and Wellington Phoenix in the process. So while the likes of Brisbane Roar, Melbourne Victory and even Adelaide United fans might be cheering on Western United today to try to stop Melbourne City breaking away at the top, you've got a cluster of other fans that will be hoping for a Melbourne City comeback perhaps. And Holly McNamara might be just the player to make it happen. McNamara one-on-one against Daloste, who makes the save. Just touched it out a little bit too far in front there, McNamara, and thus was unable to round the keeper and ended up shooting it straight into the oncoming Alyssa Daloste. McNamara's made an immediate impact on how the game looks already. Zimmerman, a scooped pass, didn't quite have the power to get to Lagazzo. McNamara, that straight line speed, creates separation, but it also created a loose touch there. And it was good, brave goalkeeping from Daloste to get out of her line and save. Western United with a more territorially dominant team in the first half. They spent a lot of time down in their attacking half and attacking third, even though Melbourne City had 64% of the ball. Certainly not a case where Melbourne City were enjoying possession in advanced areas, and sometimes they can really trap a team pinned in their own penalty box, whereas today, most of the possession they have enjoyed has been deep in their defensive half. Otto leaning into the header. TJ Blanich will be determined to make game 100 a winner. Able to get around Adriana Taranto, but decides to go back to Otto. Now Mirez. First head from Grove, but it slides out for a Melbourne City throw. McNamara. This time given away. Although a brief giveaway, Lagazzo couldn't take possession. Apostolakis throws it in. Lagazzo interrupts once again. Trying to turn out of a 1-on-2. Chloe Lagazzo is dispossessed by Apostolakis illegally, according to the referee. Free kick, a long-range free kick coming up here for Western United. Grace Maher's left foot is the perhaps obvious set-piece weapon here. No desire to take a quickly taken pass. It's going to be set it up, look for an aerial target. You'd have to say that Melbourne City have the height advantage, though. Speckmeyer, Otto, Stott a very good player in the air. Perhaps Isabel De Haak is one of the main threats for Grace Maher to aim for, has got forward here. Adriana Taranto is over the ball as well, just to try and keep the City defence guessing. But it is Maher who swings it into the edge of the 6-yard box. Merez came, got enough of the ball, and it's booted away to safety. You see the setting sun. We will be under artificial light almost completely before too long. The shadows that were stretching across the ground in the first half have now subsided. Goalkeepers will be grateful for one less thing to have to concern themselves with. Here's Johnson, great strength, lifting in a right-footed cross, a tangle in the box. Zimmerman gave away the foul. Well, Zimmerman was appealing for a penalty. Instead, the referee said that she scragged Alexia Apostolakis here. See Zimmerman's holding onto the arm of Apostolakis as she herself falls to ground. And now Speckmeyer is going to retrieve the ball. Look at McNamara cutting through the middle. Speckmeyer holds the ball up. Now McKenna. Hasn't quite been McKenna's night so far. Speckmeyer gets another chance. Tries for the nutmeg on Taranto and is legged right at the edge of the penalty area. Well, centimetres in it. Mel Taranto perhaps unhappy about being nutmegged there and just, well, almost an accident. You wouldn't say it was a deliberate foul, but Speckmeyer caught Taranto and it's a free kick right at the edge of the box. And so a big defensive stand here. TJ Vlanich has gone down to take the set piece. Taylor Otto being marked by Catherine Zimmerman. McKenna lurking, you see there at the top of the box. Do Melbourne City have a set-piece routine, or will it just be about Vlanich trying to pick out one of the aerial targets? Great chance for the equalizer, though. Here's Vlanich's free kick. It's low, it's sliding from Speckmeyer, and now McKenna blasts it, but off the outside of the foot. A few half-hearted looks at the referee about a potential foul somewhere in all of this byplay. No, nothing untoward from Johnson there. McKenna slicing the shot. Sato lost the ball into touch. Melbourne City throw taken quickly by Speckmeyer. Hughes, oh, Speckmeyer perhaps giving herself up offside there. And the ball is run out for a goal kick. Wind has picked back up, if anything, at the start of the second half. Now 7 minutes in. Still favouring the left of your screens if you've only joined us at half-time. Perhaps word getting around that Melbourne City are trailing. Michael Matriciani has returned to the bench, making just the one half-time sub so far. Still got the likes of Shelby McMahon and Catherine Harvey, a midfielder and another forward waiting among the subs. Kat Smith hasn't turned to her bench yet. Would be pretty chuffed with how the three changes to the starting 11 have worked out so far. Bosch can't advance past De Haak is. Grove. McNamara. Ricocheted out of the shins of Holly McNamara. Alice Daloste saying push up. We might get a real indicator here of just how big a factor the wind is as Daloste goes for distance on a goal kick. You see the players setting up in the midfield third. Not even close to halfway. What sort of distance can Daloste get? Speckmeyer a little bit cumbersome, challenging for the ball in the air and knocked over Sato as a result. Daloste not going to go for distance this time. Grace Maher, she does. Lifts it into the attacking half. And a wrestle sees Johnson fouled by Rebecca Stott. It's the second duel between those two in the half. Stott got the points the first time, preventing a corner. This time, the little grab, you wouldn't call it a hug. It was short-lived, but enough to pull Johnson off balance. We've already seen one free kick in this sort of territory earlier in the half. This time, Grace Maher stands solo, doesn't waste any time. Drops it at the edge of the box, and it's headed away, only as far as Taranto. Mel Taranto, into the box it goes. Carly Johnson, and swept away to safety. Almost a blind clearance there by McKenna, just a kick to safety. So 10 minutes of the second half with no change to the score. Sato. Speckmeyer helping out the defence. McKenna. Bosch had to wait for the pass to arrive, and now is caught in a pincer between two Western players, and a shot on the slide. Mel Taranto was falling off balance, but still able to get something away. It wasn't quite on target, though, and dealt with comfortably enough by Milena Mires. Here's another look. Western United numbers closed ranks on Lourdes Bosch, and I suspect that was bending wide in the end. Long ball here, and Maher had to win that in the air, otherwise Holly McNamara was out the back. Grove. Full speed. Both players challenging for the ball. Zimmerman knocks it on. Stott has position on Lagazzo. Mires turns onto her preferred left foot. Guides it to Vlanic. Sato won the header. DeHakis. Adriana Taranto. 1-2 with Johnson. Adriana Taranto taking on a couple of City defenders. Clips a ball over the head of Zimmerman. And Bosch, clever pass into the advantage of Apostolakis, who then turns the ball over. Zimmerman, Eggersvik, and Lagazzo able to turn. Lagazzo shooting on sight. And the parry bounces kindly for Milena Mires. Well, thankfully, no backspin on that ball, and it just sat up nicely. And Lagazzo has copped a knock to the shin as she shot on the turn there. Eggersvik that put Lagazzo into a good position. And Lagazzo has stayed down here. Well, it didn't look like there was actually any contact, so this is maybe a little bit more concerning that Lagazzo might have sprained something there high on the ankle. You see her controlling her breathing here. She appears to be in a bit of pain. This is a concern here for the Western United captain. Referee Caitlin Williams is going to have to police any clock management, you might call it, at this early stage of the game. You wouldn't even call it time wasting before the hour mark. Lagazzo thankfully able to run off under her own steam. Of course, Lagazzo was in the wars, was subbed off in the 70th minute against Canberra at the weekend after a couple of big collisions, and ultimately Cat Smith decided to look at other options chasing the game in what ended up being a 2-1 loss. I suspect that the plan is Lagazzo to go the full 90 here. A couple of pills, and the treatment continues. So it's 11 versus 10 for now. Vlanic sliding under the foot of McKenna. Back to Daloste. First time clearance, a good strike of the ball. But Stott leans into the header. Running out to the right flank. McNamara first to the ball. Twists it inside looking for Bosch. And Grove is able to clear it away. Apostolakis not taking any sort of a run up here. No thoughts of a long throw just yet. Instead, to Bosch it goes. Bosch hard against the line. And a corner kick. So TJ Vlanic, arm up there, is going to run over and send this corner in. And it's still 11 versus 10. So you see the numbers at the edge of the box there. Vlanic has one arm up. crowded 6-yard box. But look at McKenna and Apostolakis at the edge of the box here. And Apostolakis runs in short. The pass does go to McKenna. Couldn't resist the opportunity. And then McKenna with the drifter that goes over the bar. When you've got an 11 versus 10 advantage, it just becomes so apparent. Well, a change here. Kiwa Hieda is going to be coming on, and she's going to replace Adriana Taranto. So first start after 10 months and 2 days since tearing an ACL. Adriana Taranto has been something of a revelation, but Western United perhaps managing her minutes here on the comeback from that long-term injury. And Kiwa Hieda, who we have seen in dispatches this season, 8 appearances, but limited minutes in many of them, comes on for Taranto. Here's Egersvik. Hieda looking to make an instant impact. Mirez ventures out of the penalty area, skies the clearance. Lagazzo is back on. It's 11 versus 11 again.
Get it under control.
That was Cat Smith, you heard there, saying get it under control. And that's what Lagazzo has done. Tries for the killer pass. It's cleared from the middle of the defence. Egersvik sees Lagazzo. Lagazzo deflected off Lanich. It's going to loop up, though. Mirez caught behind a couple of players. And ultimately, Otto has to concede a corner. And Kiwa Hieda into the action. The Japanese national who's been in Australia for a number of years now. It's Lagazzo there. And, well, it's a very firm service at Ironbark Fields, and the ball has certainly had plenty of spring when it's bounced firmly at times tonight. It's Western United's first corner of the game. It's taken an hour. And Grace Maher will use her left foot to try and swing it in, but not before referee Caitlin Williams wants to just lay down the law to a couple of players that were jostling for position. Egersvik and Bosch. Maher steps out her runner. Here comes Grace Maher's corner. Oh, and a firmly met header going wide. And there's a player down. It's Mariana Speckmeyer, who may have copped the brunt of the ball, it seems. Had Zimmerman charging through there, and I think it was last touch off Speckmeyer. So a bit of contact from Zimmerman and a lot of contact from the ball. Speckmeyer's back on her feet, though. And so it's repeat corners here for Western United. That was a great delivery from Maher. Can she repeat it? To the far post it goes. Good header by Otto away. McNamara trying to run down her own clearance. Across came the corner taker in Maher. McNamara, it deflected kindly. Bosch, it's 2-on-1. Can Melbourne City manage it here? McNamara tried to cut it back. Sasha Grove in the right spot. And that cohesion between Holly McNamara and the other attackers still coming together for Melbourne City. They had a 2-on-1, but the one was able to take the ball in the end. Michael Matriciani still applauding from the sidelines, but Bosch there played it to McNamara, and then McNamara trying for the return ball, but Sasha Grove got in the right spot. Otto's header. And then challenging Johnson, Egersvik. Zimmerman wants the ball in space over on the left. Here goes Zimmerman, able to cut past Apostolakis. And Lagazzo waited for the ball. Vlanic leapt onto it. Johnson legged. Well, the fans urging the ref for the whistle, but it's not forthcoming. The tension is really starting to rise here as we've passed the hour mark, and Western United still enjoy this 1-0 lead. Hieda. Kiwa Hieda pushes it out to Carly Johnson. Johnson, Hieda. A low scuffed cross. Dealt with by Stott. And pushed out to Bosch on the right. Only McNamara ahead of the ball, so Bosch biding her time, waiting for a few more runners to get forward. And that pass, a little aimless in the end. Again, clock management from Melissa Daloste and Holly McNamara pushing Daloste after the goalkeeper picked up the ball. Daloste takes every second that the referee will allow and then goes for the punt kick. Lands it right on the halfway line. Zimmerman. Catherine Zimmerman. Grace Marr steps around McNamara. Hoping for Eggersvik, but ultimately pushing it out over the line for a throw. And we're going to see activity on the sideline. Leah Davidson leaves the field over on the outer side, and Shelby McMahon is coming on. So Davidson, the recently capped Matilda, leaves the game. And on comes McMahon for appearance number 13 for the 16-year-old. Of course, missed out on the grand final last season due to an injury that also curtailed her for a lot of the off-season, but she's getting the minutes back into her legs now. This fantastic young talent that Melbourne City have been very confident in giving game time to. They're never really reticent to bring her on in a big situation, and trailing 1-0. It's one of those big situations that they're trusting the youngster in to help them turn the tide. McMahon's first touch. Apostolakis. Given away by DeHarkis. McKenna, and too much on the pass. Speckmeyer caught out there, and it was offside regardless. So Alyssa Daloste can go and put the ball on the ground rather than keep it moving live in play. So Melbourne City's remaining subs, the attacker Catherine Harvey and defender Carly Rossbacken, along with their backup goalkeeper Melissa Barbieri. Sato. Stott with a quick head check and plays it back to Mires. Johnson's going to chase this all the way up to the keeper. It's a good pass from Mires to Otto. Bosch. Resuming her duel with Sasha Grove, and Bosch got a step on Grove, who is then back goal side. Bosch surges again and puts it across the face. Neither a cross nor a shot in the end. Not to the advantage of Speckmeyer and Lourdes Bosch. It's a fascinating duel there with Sasha Grove, who at that point Bosch has got a step, and then Grove gets back goal side and Bosch loads up for one more little surge forward, but ultimately slides it across. Western United have made just the one sub so far. Kiwa Hieda, the number 20 there, coming on. There's a look at the possession numbers first half compared to the second half. Western United with their noses in front. The game really has changed. Playing with the lead. Here's Lagazo. Hieda getting forward in the middle. Lagazo with a probing ball. Hieda. Oh, it's a good slide challenge from Vlanich. Got the ball and left the player prone at the byline. Eggersvik. Hieda's able to get back up. McMahon. Dangerous pass, but made it work. McKenna, Otto. And now DeHarkis to Carly Johnson, was at the edge of the box. Not able to roll Rebecca Stott. McNamara, block tackle from DeHarkis, and Lagazo directing traffic, sending Kiwa Hieda down the right channel, and across comes Taylor Otto. Oh, she ran out of play. And so it's a throw-in. Let's take another look here. Well, it's been a night of line ball decisions, hasn't it? And the assistant referee in perfect position to make the judgment on that one. Anastasia Filikaridis over on the near side. More of the crowd starting to chant in support of the home side here. And they get another corner. Second goal here, and Western United would start to feel like it's their night. Carly Johnson putting herself about. Elena Mires trying to organise the defence. Grace Maher has sent in 2 very dangerous corners already in this second half. Just see here, Mel Taranto's coming over to perhaps offer the short corner option. And short corner is what they opt for here. Grace Maher opens up the angle, now swings in across. Headed away comfortably enough, and McNamara, gee, she's quick. And she's been wiped out by Sato. And we're going to see the first card of the night. Yellow out of the pocket from Caitlin Williams. And Julia Sato, who just couldn't make ground before Holly McNamara, goes in the book. McNamara gets the first touch there, and Sato just clumsily knocking over McNamara. So a yellow card for the 29-year-old Sato. Game number 44 tonight for her. And she's immediately volleying the ball away from the resulting free kick. 20 minutes of regulation to go. Off the head of Sato, has to recover the ball. Johnson, Zimmerman, back out in front of Carly Johnson, and it ends up sitting kindly for Hughes, and the offside flag is up regardless. City wasting no time, restarting play. Otto, Speckmeyer, a bending ball, and Maher brought it down. De Haak is not out of danger just yet. McKenna shooting, and a good catch. Just above eye level for Alyssa Daloste, but went for the catch rather than the parry, and thus was able to hold on to the ball. And Letitia McKenna finding a shot on target for Melbourne City. 2 goals last week. Maybe will grow into the game in the final 20 minutes here tonight. Sasha Grove. Throw in for Melbourne City at right back, taken by Apostolakis. Straight onto the head of Grove. And the free kick going Western's way. The frustration builds for Melbourne City. Eggersvik this time knocked over. Philippines international playing just her 6th game of the season. It's actually her first appearance since the 14th of December, so she's been out for just over a month. Clearly has minutes in the legs, though, Eggersvik, to come back for the first time in a month and already be at the 73-minute mark. And no need to call the trainer, so Eggersvik resumes her place in the game, and Grace Maher has a wide free kick here. Still plenty of numbers committed forward for the home side. Maher. It's allowed to bounce in the box. It rears up awkwardly. Hieda takes possession. Onto the head of Vlanich. McKenna's clearance. Square rather than driving forward. So it's a throw in right at the edge of the attacking third for Western United. Sato is the one player out there on a yellow card. Can't afford to waste any time. Has to take the throw in a timely manner. De Haak is. Mel Taranto, really nicely done. Taranto, deflected high by Otto. Lanich is headed down, straight to Carly Johnson. A neat shimmy, Johnson bending it, and it flashes off the head of Zimmerman. Would have felt the ball skim past, but couldn't get a goal-bound touch. And Carly Johnson there, great sidestep, open space, and agonisingly above the leap of Catherine Zimmerman. And again, it's the home side who, at the moment, look very capable of scoring a second. No thoughts of dropping anchor and holding on to this 1-0 lead just yet. Of course, Melbourne City have a number of ever-present threats. We've seen Bosch and McNamara break forward in this half into open field. the combination of a good bit of goalkeeping and some desperate defending has held them out. Here's Zimmerman again. Cuts it back. Carly Johnson looking for Hieda. Looking for the target in the end. It slid in at the near post. Carly Johnson saying, was there a handball? It definitely caught a deflection. Let's take a closer look. I think the arms were tucked in against the body, and that deflection nearly wrong-footed Mirez. May have had it covered regardless. But it is a corner kick. And the first corner that Western United have had from the left-hand side, which will suit the right-footed Lagazo. We've seen Grace Maher on set-piece duty for just about everything so far tonight. Now it's Lagazo's turn. Lagazo hangs it high, and the header slides wide. Eggersvik was up looking for her first Ninja A-League goal. Made it to the ball. There's DeHakis as well. Taylor Otto was trying to desperately close the gap to those two Western players. Would have been DeHakis' goal. Instead, it goes wide of the post. Ma, DeHakis. Sato being pursued by Speckmeyer. Hieda wins the throw-in off Lanich. Eggersvik crunched by Bosch, and a yellow card. So first booking of the night for a Melbourne City player, second card of the evening, as Bosch joins Julia Sato in the referee's book. Here's another look at late contact there on Sarah Eggersvik. Bosch goes and rearranges the shin guard. You see a fair old streak of green there down the sock. This is going to prompt another substitution. Letitia McKenna coming off. It hasn't quite been her night off the back of a great performance against Brisbane last weekend. And on comes Catherine Harvey, the Canadian forward, who does have 3 goals this season, but hasn't scored since the 15th of December. And Eggersvik has cramped up as well. Telltale sign is the pickle juice. She's having a swig of there. Must have cramped after, or during, getting tackled there by Lourdes Bosch. Ma. Hieda, great first touch. Taking on Vlanic, and Vlanic with strength holds off Hieda. DeHakis, another good first touch. Hieda rolling away, trying to bend across, but it was a little close to the keeper. Mirez. Left-footed clearance. Clears Vlanic. Speckmeyer able to win a throw. Mariana Speckmeyer down the line. Hieda. Sato. Hieda misses the ball. Otto. Vlanic. City going the wrong way as far as they're concerned. They reset back at the goalkeeper. Mirez. McMahon. Down to Otto. Given away. DeHakis stepped into the space. Hieda now. Carly Johnson. Johnson, another neat sidestep. Lagazo. Back to Johnson, able to spin at the edge of the box, not facing the target just yet though. Now she turns, lobs up a ball, and it was stuck in between both a shot and a pass. Zimmerman was herring after it, but perhaps it was a more teasing lob towards the target of Milena Mirez, and it slid just wide. last 5 or 6 minutes, Melbourne City haven't really broken forward and had a signature chance here. As we head towards the last 10 minutes, maybe they've got one more burst in them. We're yet to really see their latest sub, Catherine Harvey, impact the game. Foul here. Sasha Grove through the back of Lourdes Bosch. And Bosch is able to get back up a little properly, but you can see there the right leg bore the brunt of the contact from Sasha Grove. And interestingly, it is the foul going Western United's way. So it was Bosch who fouled Grove. Ma caught in possession. McNamara a long way from goal though. And Ma is able to recover and squeeze the ball out. There's one on the plinth right there. Well, McNamara wanted to take the quick throw in, but I think Ma might have cramped here, and this is going to be contentious. Is it worse than cramped? Well, Melbourne City wanted to take the throw in quickly, and Grace Ma was prone on the turf. Let's have another look. Ma ushers the ball out. Well, it's the same ankle that she rolled earlier in the game. And you just see the toe catch in the turf there, so appears to have aggravated the ankle again. And even though the referee perhaps is not obligated to whistle play dead, Jaden Williams did on that occasion. The chippiness continues. It's a big last 10 minutes coming up. McNamara and Grove clearly getting into a war of words. It is a genuine rivalry between these two teams. Ma, after receiving brief treatment, is trying to walk under her own steam. She's off the pitch though. Otto. Speckmeyer. Ma's back on. 11 versus 11 restored. Apostolakis. Bosch. He's got Zimmerman guarding her here. Lourdes Bosch. Tries to step around and does against Zimmerman. All about the cross. McNamara found a gap, and Holly McNamara equalises for Melbourne City. She was fired up a moment ago, and she's channeled that energy into scoring the equaliser. Bosch did really well to get the better of Zimmerman, and with that little half metre of space, able to find McNamara. And it's a finish through traffic here. Look at the drag step from Bosch. And then got the better of Zimmerman. And McNamara, first time prod, able to beat Alyssa Daloste in the Western United goal. And that's what the equaliser means. McNamara, her second goal of the season. And doesn't that set up a big finish now in Tarneet? And the one unbeaten team in the Ninja A-League, as things stand, remain on track to keep their unbeaten streak going. Western United, though, have continued to create throughout the second half. Zimmerman into the box. Zimmerman hits the side netting. Melbourne City trying to come back from a losing position to avoid defeat for a 6th time this Ninja A-League season. Western United want to go and win it again. Hieda. And Vlanic has really had the measure of Hieda since the Japanese winger has come on. Ball tumbles on here. Hughes. DeHakis. Headed away by Stott. Bosch over the shoulder. Egersvik. Hieda. Underhit pass. Vlanic off the head of Bosch. Blanich again, the obstacle that Western United can't get past. Hieda will chase this towards the line. The ball just had a little bit too much on it. Looks as though Chiara Di Demizio is being put through a couple of sprints down next to the bench there, but not coming on just yet for Western United. Smith maybe getting ready, though, to bring on another striker, make an aggressive change, try to win the game. 5 minutes of regulation to go. Dahakis. Blanich. Headed by Dahakis. Legazzo. Taranto. Protected the ball well. Legazzo's pass. Knocked down by Stott. Eggersvik couldn't take the ball. McNamara can. But her pass blocked by Dahakis. Stott, a bit more advanced now, playing it out to Bosch. Bosch. Knocked to the ground by Grove. Legally, according to the referee, so play continues. Grove turned defence into attack, though. Trying to take control of the ball. McMahon knocks it away. Bosch. Now McNamara. Trying to slide it on, but only succeeded in picking out Taranto. Daloste hurried into a clearance by Harvey. And goes out on the outer sideline. Melbourne City looking to press. Here's McMahon. Harvey can't roll with the ball. It's booted clear. Hughes. Here's Grove. Johnson may have run offside. To look over the shoulder and get back into a onside position. And yep, that pass pushed out down to the corner. Carly Johnson there just didn't quite time the run. Ball is still live at the feet of Mires. Bosch, unable to outfox Grove. Hasn't that been a duel tonight? Chiara Di Demizio is going to come on for Catherine Zimmerman. And Di Demizio, who was the goal-scoring hero, Western United won in the 90th minute against Sydney FC in Tarneet earlier in the season, comes on again with just 2.5 minutes of regulation to go. Zimmerman leaves the game after a very impressive shift. Agonisingly close to putting Western United 2-0 up earlier in the half with that attempted header that skimmed off the head and was just a little bit too high for her leaping up to the ball. So Cat Smith turns to Di Demizio, hoping she might have the magic touch with just 2 minutes of regulation to go. Here's Sato. Legazzo. Blanich guarding that left back corner. Given away this time, though. Legazzo goes back wide again, though, and it's a Melbourne City ball. Both sides still trying to win it. Neither is settling for a draw. Taranto. And the cross, not quite to the advantage of any teammates, but Apostolakis may be nervous with Hieda a few metres behind. Puts it out for a corner kick. Chloe Legazzo will head over to the corner and look to deliver. Chiara Di Demizio, that goal she did score against Sydney FC, of course, was at the near post from a corner. There's the number 7. Dahakis will be another aerial target as well. Huge moment here. Melbourne City for so much of this game trailing. They got themselves a late equaliser. Can Western United win it here at the death? Legazzo's corner. An in-swinger. Oh, and it caught the outside of the goal frame. So ultimately it's out as a cross off target. You see there, skimmed the top of the crossbar, maybe the back of the top of the crossbar. Garzo going direct. Melbourne City, the short goal kick. Otto. Into midfield it goes. McMahon with it all to do. Di Demizio won the ball. Lagazo, decision time for Western. Sees Taranto. It's Mel Taranto! And then knocked away from Di Demizio. Taranto appealing for a handball against Otto. It's going to be a corner. Let's have a look at the arms here. No, it was off the shins, not the arms. Nothing wrong with that. But it's still a corner kick that has to be dealt with. And we have ticked into stoppage time at the end of the night. Grace Maher has taken a number of corners and free kicks in this half. Maher's corner landing right in the teeth of goal. Mires bats it away. Bosch. And cleared by Apostolakis. A foot race is on. McNamara against Sato. Sato got to the ball. Sends it out to the wing. Taranto. Lifts in the cross Taranto. And a good catch from Mires. Almost 1 of 6 additional minutes ticked by. Will we get a winner? In some ways it feels like a draw could be a fitting result, but if either team can provide a moment of inspiration here to win it, it will be a huge story. They're fighting for everything out there now. Bosch can't believe it's Western's throw. Grove. And Grove fumbled it out. Now it will be Melbourne City ball. Allowed to bounce. Stott against Johnson. And a foul by Carly Johnson on Rebecca Stott. Speckmeyer with a diagonal ball from deep. McNamara leaps and knocked it into the goalkeeper's space. Daloste retrieves and rolls it out to Taranto. Trying to drive from deep in midfield. Taranto protecting the ball. Saw Di Demizio. Chiara Di Demizio now. Lagazo's making a run on the underlap, but peels back to the box. Di Demizio's cross. Flick header on. Hieda has switched wings over to the left. Kiwa Hieda. Eggersvik now. And skies the chance. Sarah Eggersvik in space at the top of the box, but couldn't keep it down. Well, they had the numbers there, Western United. The switch of wings since Di Demizio has come on. Hieda going over to the left. And an anticlimactic finish from Sarah Eggersvik. Half of the 6 minutes of stoppage time have expired. Hieda. And it's out off Sasha Grove. City ball. Hughes. Maher. McNamara clips it on. Speckmeyer chasing it wide. All about who's getting forward in the middle. Speckmeyer surveys the options and engages Sato and wins a corner. And now perhaps Melbourne City's chance to win it. The ball has not spent much time down in their attack in this second half. They may have grabbed an equalizer, but it has been Western United's half. But a good corner here, and they could pull off a comeback victory. Alexia Apostolakis, both arms raised. A cluster of players ready to attack this corner kick. Apostolakis looking for a runner. Oh, and it reared up and hit Holly McNamara. First contact with a City player, but no real control on it there. Was able to meet the ball and, well, it just got a little bit big and that header balloons out. All it takes is one long ball, and Holly McNamara could be away, though. Western United will be acutely aware of that as they defend here late in the night. De Haak is back to Daloste. No-nonsense clearance. Otto. Speckmeyer. McNamara. Hughes making a run forward. Hughes. And put behind for a corner by Grove. As we go into the last of 6 additional minutes, it's another corner for Melbourne City. McNamara made first contact with the last corner. Apostolakis goes over again. Last minute of stoppage time corner then for Apostolakis. In at the near post it goes. Didamizio volleys away. Apostolakis off the shin. Vlanich. Back to Hughes. Stott. Only seconds left to play with now. Harvey's in space. Lifting it across. And a half volley from McNamara that lands on the roof of the net. And that might be that. Stoppage time will expire. And the two undefeated streaks, two very unique undefeated streaks, live on at the end of this one. Western United have still never lost to Melbourne City, and Melbourne City are now unbeaten in 12 to start the Ninja A-League season. Western United were so close to what would have been a real statement win. Instead, they will spend another weekend outside the top 6. And Melbourne City, for now, break 5 points clear at the top of the league. So they will finish the weekend on top of the Ninja A-League. The only question is by how much. Holly McNamara's equaliser cancels out the opener from Carly Johnson. A goal that will be talked about plenty, no doubt, in the aftermath, given it was another goal line debate. Elena Mires able to hold out in the second half, though, as Western United definitely had the better of it, but ultimately did give up the equaliser late in the piece. Western United 1, Melbourne City 1. Well, a fascinating game, and really, Western United looked like finalists out there. They will spend another weekend outside the top 6, but they showed their credentials tonight, and they nearly got to the finish line with what would have been a huge win. Let's take a look at the goals and go back to stoppage time at the end of the first half. After Taylor Otto had ventured forward for Melbourne City, Western United were able to exploit a little bit of a rearranged defence here, with Carly Johnson making the run to get on